How I built my food channel by finding hidden gems nobody else covers. As a content creator, I've learned that the secret to explosive growth isn't following trends. It's finding the stories nobody else is telling. 3 years ago, I started a food channel that now has over 800,000 subscribers. And it all began with one simple realization. Everyone was covering the same overpriced, overhyped restaurants while completely ignoring where locals actually eat. My breakthrough came when I decided to flip the script on traditional food content. Instead of reviewing the places every other YouTuber was featuring, I went hunting for the spots that tourists walk past every day without noticing. The result? My Hidden Food Gems series became my most watched content, with several videos hitting over 2 million views. Here's how I found my niche and built an audience by going where other creators were afraid to go. Finding your content sweet spot. The anti-tourism strategy. The biggest mistake I see food creators make is chasing what's already popular. They see a restaurant trending on social media and rush to make the same content as 50 other channels. That's a race to the bottom, and you'll never win by being the 100th person to review the same trendy spot. My strategy was the complete opposite. I started asking myself, where do real people eat when nobody's watching? Not influencers, not food bloggers, but the people who live and work in these neighborhoods every single day. That question led me down a rabbit hole that became the foundation of my entire brand. I spent months researching strip malls, food courts, and hole-in-the-wall joints that had zero online presence. These places didn't have Instagram-worthy interiors or PR teams reaching out to creators. They just had incredible food and stories nobody was telling. That became my competitive advantage. The lesson here for any creator is simple. Your audience is hungry for authenticity, not another carbon copy of existing content. Find the angle that others are missing, and you'll find your niche. Strip mall stories. Content gold in unexpected places. Some of my most successful videos came from the most unlikely locations. Strip malls became my secret weapon because they're the antithesis of what food content typically showcases. While other creators were fighting for access to trendy downtown restaurants, I was discovering incredible stories in suburban plazas that most people drive past without a second thought. One of my first viral videos featured a Vietnamese restaurant in a former Pizza Hut building. The visual storytelling practically wrote itself. Here was this family serving incredible pho in a space that still had the distinctive Pizza Hut roof architecture. The contrast was perfect content, authentic food culture thriving in the most American of spaces. What I learned is that every one of these places has an incredible story. The Chinese barbecue spot where 3 generations worked together. The Malaysian restaurant run by former hotel chefs who gave up fine dining to serve their community. These aren't just food reviews. They're documentary-style stories that connect with viewers on an emotional level. The engagement on these videos was unlike anything I'd experienced. Comments poured in from locals saying, "I've driven past this place for years and never knew," and from immigrants sharing memories of similar restaurants from their hometowns. I wasn't just making food content, I was creating connection and community. Building authentic relationships. Your real currency as a creator. The key to this type of content isn't just finding hidden spots, it's building genuine relationships with the people behind them. These restaurant owners aren't used to cameras and social media attention. They're often skeptical of outsiders coming in with equipment and expectations. I spent months just being a customer first. I'd eat at these places repeatedly, learn the owners' names, understand their stories before ever mentioning that I made videos. This wasn't just good ethics, it was smart business. By the time I proposed filming, I wasn't a stranger with a camera. I was a regular customer who happened to want to share their story. This approach paid dividends in ways I never expected. Restaurant owners started referring me to their friends and competitors. I got access to family recipes and behind-the-scenes stories that would never make it into a traditional review. My content became deeper and more authentic because the relationships were real. For creators in any niche, this is crucial. Your network becomes your content pipeline. Invest in genuine relationships, not just transactional interactions. The difference will show in your content and your growth. The mall food court revolution. Reframing perception. One of my most controversial takes was arguing that mall food courts serve better Asian food than most trendy restaurants. I knew this would ruffle feathers in the foodie community, but controversy drives engagement, and I had the receipts to back up my claims. I created a whole series comparing mall food court dishes to their high-end restaurant equivalents. Same soup dumplings, same dim sum, often made by chefs with similar backgrounds and training. The only difference? The mall versions cost 60% less and often tasted better because they were serving their actual community, not trying to impress food bloggers. The videos performed incredibly well because they challenged viewers' preconceptions. I wasn't just reviewing food. I was questioning why we value atmosphere and branding over actual taste and authenticity. This kind of provocative angle gets shares and comments, which feeds the algorithm. The key insight for other creators: don't be afraid to challenge conventional wisdom in your niche. Your most engaging content often comes from taking unpopular positions that you can actually defend with evidence. Hyperlocal content with global appeal. What surprised me most was how hyperlocal content found a global audience. My videos about specific neighborhoods and immigrant communities resonated with viewers from completely different cities and countries. A video about Korean restaurants in suburban Vancouver got massive engagement from Korean Americans in Los Angeles and Korean Canadians in Toronto. I realized I wasn't just making food content, I was documenting immigrant food culture and community building. These stories are universal, even when the locations are specific. Everyone has neighborhoods like the ones I was featuring, but nobody was telling those stories with respect and depth. This taught me that niche content can have broad appeal if you focus on universal human experiences. Food is just the vehicle. The real content is about community, tradition, family, and the immigrant experience. These themes resonate regardless of where your audience lives. Monetization through community building. The best part about building this type of authentic audience is that monetization becomes natural. My viewers trust my recommendations because they've seen me consistently champion quality over hype. When I launched my food tour business, it was booked solid within weeks because my audience already knew the value I provided. I've also partnered with local tourism boards and food festivals, positioning myself as the expert on authentic local food culture. These partnerships work because I'm not just another influencer. I'm a curator with a proven track record and genuine community connections. The lesson for any creator looking to build sustainable revenue: focus on building trust and expertise first. The money follows when you've established yourself as a genuine authority in your space. Scaling your unique approach. Success with hidden gem content comes from developing a systematic approach to discovery. I now have a network of local food enthusiasts who tip me off to new spots. I track immigration patterns and new business licenses to identify emerging food communities. I've turned my curiosity into a research system that consistently generates content ideas. The goal isn't just to find one great hidden restaurant. It's to become known as the person who consistently uncovers authentic experiences that others miss. That becomes your brand, and that brand becomes incredibly valuable to both your audience and potential partners. For creators in any niche, the principle applies. Develop systems for consistently delivering your unique value proposition. Don't just get lucky once. Build a process that makes your success repeatable and scalable. Building an audience around authentic, underrepresented stories has been the most rewarding career move I've ever made. Not only did it grow my channel exponentially, but it connected me with communities and cultures I never would have discovered otherwise. Sometimes the best content strategy isn't about following the crowd. It's about finding the incredible stories the crowd is walking right past.